Do you ever feel like your conversations with your child are hitting a dead end? That no matter what you say, the message just isn't getting through? Well, you're not alone. In fact, there are 12 common communication roadblocks that can sabotage even the best intentions, leaving both you and your child feeling frustrated and unheard. In today's episode, I'll give you a guide to understanding and avoiding these roadblocks that will pave the way for open and honest communication with your child. Welcome back to Project Parenthood. I'm your host, Dr. Nanika Coor, clinical psychologist and respectful parenting therapist. Each week I'll help you repair and deepen your parent-child connection, increase self-compassion and cooperation from your kids, and cultivate joy, peace, and resilience in your relationship with them. Imagine yourself in a scenario where your child, seemingly out of the blue, confides in you about feeling friendless at school. It's a natural instinct to want to help, to fix the problem and make them feel better. But in our eagerness to solve, we often resort to communication styles that can inadvertently do more harm than good. Roadblocks like ordering, judging, praising, advising, even reassuring can send subtle messages that shut down your child's feelings and discourage them from opening up further. Statements like, "Don't worry, everyone goes through lonely periods," or "You just need to be more outgoing," might seem helpful, but they can make your child feel dismissed and misunderstood. Roadblocks can also signal a lack of trust in your child's ability to make decisions. Let's look at the 12 roadblocks more closely. The first one is ordering and directing, which is telling your child what to do without considering their feelings or opinions. For example, clean your room right now, no excuses. 2. Warning, admonishing, threatening. This is using threats or warnings to control your child's behavior. For example, if you don't finish your homework, you won't get any screen time for a week. 3. Exhorting, moralizing, preaching, giving moral advice or trying to impose personal values on your child. For example, you should always share your toys. It's the right thing to do. 4. Advising, giving solutions or suggestions. This is like offering solutions or advice without considering your child's ability to solve the problem themselves. For example, you should join more clubs at school to make friends. 5. Arguing, lecturing, teaching, persuading with logic. This is trying to convince your child with logic or lecturing instead of acknowledging their feelings. For example, let me explain why what you're feeling is irrational and why my solution is the best. 6. Judging, criticizing, disagreeing, blaming. This is expressing disapproval or blaming your child for their actions. For example, you never think about others. It's always about what you want. 7. Praising or agreeing. This is using praise to influence your child's behavior or agreeing without considering their true feelings. For example, "You're such a good kid, you wouldn't do something like that." 8. Name-calling, labeling, ridiculing, shaming. This is using derogatory language or labels to criticize your child. For example, "Stop being such a crybaby. It's embarrassing." 9. Interpreting, analyzing, diagnosing. This is assuming you know the reasons behind your child's behavior without allowing them to explain. For example, "You're just doing this because you want attention." 10. Reassuring, sympathizing, consoling, supporting. This is offering comfort without addressing your child's real concerns or feelings. For example, "Don't worry, everyone feels lonely sometimes." 11. Probing, questioning, interrogating. This is asking too many questions that may feel intrusive or judgmental to your child. For example, "Well, why did you do that? What were you thinking?" 12. Diverting, using sarcasm, withdrawing, distracting, or using humor. This is like avoiding the issue, using sarcasm or distracting from your child's problem. For example, let's talk about something less negative. Tell me something fun that happened at school instead. So what if you took the road less traveled and used active listening? Instead of taking the roadblocks highway, Dr. Thomas Gordon's Parent Effectiveness Training, or PET, offers a different route: active listening. This non-judgmental approach puts your child's needs front and center. By simply listening without interrupting, giving your full attention, and reflecting back what you hear, you're empowering your child to explore their own feelings and find their own solutions. Imagine saying something like, "It sounds like you're feeling lonely at school. That must be really difficult." This simple acknowledgement validates your child's emotions and opens the door for a deeper conversation. As they continue to share, you can use active listening techniques like repeating key phrases, reflecting back emotions, and asking clarifying questions to show that you truly understand and are there for them. Active listening in PET goes beyond just using the right words. It's about building a genuine connection with your child. It's about showing them that you're a safe place for them to express their full range of emotions without fear of judgment or retaliation. This means being open to their perspective, even if it's different from yours. It means letting go of the need to be right and instead focusing on being present and supportive. For a deeper dive into active listening, check out a previous episode I did called How to Listen So Your Child Feels Heard. You'll find that link in the show notes. So let's talk about the ripple effect beyond your child's problem. The benefits of effective communication go farther than whatever the specific issue at hand is. By practicing active listening and avoiding roadblocks, you are 1. Building trust and closeness in your relationship with your child. 2. Teaching them valuable life skills like self-awareness, problem-solving, and emotional intelligence. And 3. Helping your child become better equipped to handle life's challenges. And defaulting to roadblocks in parenting can inadvertently communicate a desire to change your child and a lack of acceptance of your child's current state. They can ultimately cause your kiddo to stop talking and make it difficult for them to come to you with their issues. So remember, roadblocks shut down communication. Active listening opens it up. Open-ended questions invite dialogue. Giving orders doesn't. Validate your child's feelings without judgment. Empower them to find their own solutions. Building trust and connection takes time and effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. This episode is just the beginning of your journey to becoming a more effective communicator as a parent, so check out PET. Practice active listening in your everyday conversations and watch your relationship with your child blossom. That's all for today's episode of Project Parenthood. Thanks for listening, and I hope you found this helpful. Be sure to join me live on Instagram at BKParents on Monday, January 29 at 12:45 p.m. for my monthly Ask Dr. Coor. You can get your questions answered in real time. If you have a question for me about parent-child relationships, respectful parenting tips, and/or parental mental health that you'd like me to cover in a future episode, shoot me an email at parenthood@quickanddirtytips.com. Leave a message at 646-926-3243, or leave a message on Instagram at BKParents. And you can learn about my private practice working with parents living in New York State at www.brooklynparenttherapy.com. Catch you next week. Project Parenthood is a Quick and Dirty Tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Dan Firebend. Our podcast and advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. Our digital operations specialist is Holly Hutchings. And our marketing and publicity associate is Davina Tomlin. See you next week.